Right now, the majority of Americans are broke. But unlike what the majority of people think, if you are broke, you should not be trying to earn more money yet. And in this video, I'm going to be going over what you need to do right now. That way you never have to worry about being broke again. Everybody thinks that being broke starts with your bank account. But it really starts up here. But Jaspreet, I don't have any money to pay my rent. How is it up here? It's over here. Well, let's look at the numbers. The majority of people assume that if I just made more money, is that my money problems would magically go away. So if I could make 6 figures a year, $100,000 a year, that I'll be good and I won't have to worry about being broke again. But if you look at the numbers, what you'll see is that 6 out of 10 millennials who are making over $100,000 a year are broke and living paycheck to paycheck. But maybe $100,000 a year isn't enough to not be broke. Well, if you look at the Americans making $250,000, $250,000 a year, 1 out of 3 of them are broke and living paycheck to paycheck. More money without the right financial education just leads to bigger financial problems. And if you still don't believe me, ask Michael Vick, or ask Mike Tyson, or ask Nicolas Cage. If you don't know how to manage your money when you have $1,000, you're not going to know how to magically manage your money when you have $1 million. But I will tell you that it's a lot easier to manage your money when you have more money, but you have to start by understanding how to manage your money when you have less money. What I've seen happen over my years of talking about financial education is that for the majority of people, when you increase your income to here, then all of a sudden what happens is you think that, oh, now I have this margin between my income and my expenses, so I'm going to be financially okay. But what ends up happening actually is you increase your income to here and then your expenses, boop, magically go up to meet your income. Because when the majority of people make more money, when you get a raise, well, you get a bigger home, or you get a nicer car, or you go on a bigger vacation. And this happens across the board, that when people make more money, they spend more money. So if you want to actually not be broke, you have to start by understanding the spending. This doesn't mean you don't ever have to earn more money. There's a lot of value to earning more money. We'll talk about that too. But you have to start by understanding how to control your spending. Because if you can control your spending, now you can earn a whole lot more money and you can actually enjoy the wealth because you know how to spend the money. Plus, it pays to learn these lessons sooner rather than later, because when you make less money, you're going to have smaller financial holes. It's easier to dig yourself out of a $10,000 financial hole than it is to dig yourself out of a $250,000 financial hole, so it pays to learn these lessons sooner rather than later. To really understand the value of not being broke anymore, I want you to start by imagining a life where you have an extra $10,000 a month hitting your bank account every single month right now. What would you do right now if you made an extra $10,000 a month? Would you go live somewhere else? Would you buy a nicer car? Would you buy a bigger home? Would you go on a vacation? Or what would you do with that money? See, if you're thinking in terms of spending, this is what we got to change first. Because in our society, it's completely normal to think in terms of spending. If I made 10 grand, I would go to Cancun. If I made another 50 grand, I'd go out and buy a Beamer. If I had another $500,000, I'm going to go buy myself a mansion. When you think in terms of spending, what happens is when you earn more money, you spend more money. So you have to change the way you think first. That way you can change what you do with your money. Because now what you want to be thinking is, if I can make an extra 10 grand a month, that's an extra 10 grand that I could invest into assets that are going to produce me more cash flow. That's more cash flow every single month, and now I can live off of the cash flow, and this extra 10 grand a month is just buying me more assets. Because what wealthy people are doing is when they make money, they're not buying things. When wealthy people make money, they're buying investments. These investments that wealthy people are buying don't make you look rich, but these investments give you cash flow. And now this cash flow is money that you can spend, and it's money that will keep coming month after month after month. So you can blow this cash flow and not have to worry because you got another month of cash flow coming in next month. By the way, if you're interested in investing your money and you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the financial markets, I have a free newsletter called Market Briefs, where every day my team is breaking down what's happening in the financial markets. You can read it in less than 5 minutes every morning, and I promise you, you're going to look forward to reading Market Briefs every morning. And the best part is it's completely free. So if you haven't joined Market Briefs yet, I'll put the link to how you can join down in the description below. The most accessible way to have more money is to spend less money, period. Because all you have to do is cut down some of your expenses. Now, this is not easy because now you might have to sell your car. You might have to downsize your home. You might have to sell some of your stuff. You might have to get rid of the massage membership. You might have to start doing things that are giving you a certain luxury or a certain lifestyle. But it is the most accessible way to have more money in your pocket. Because the reality to building wealth is not that complicated. You have to spend less, you have to earn more, and then you invest like crazy. That is the formula to wealth. But now the question is, how do you actually do it? And the most accessible, not the funnest thing, not necessarily the best thing to do forever, but the most accessible in the early stages thing to do is to spend less money. When you know how to do that, when you can cut down your expenses, when now no matter how much money you make, you're going to have a buffer to have cash to invest, to have money to save. Now you have a system in place where, oh, you make more money, now you have more money to invest. And you're not just going to go out and blow all of your money, because what happens for most people, like I've been saying, is you make more money and you spend all of your money. But the quickest way to increase your wealth is when you get a pay raise, don't inflate your lifestyle. Inflate your lifestyle slower than you inflate your investments. If you can inflate your investments faster than you inflate your lifestyle, you are going to be on a trajectory to continue growing your wealth way faster than your expenses. That is the secret to becoming wealthy. And now, if you can keep growing your investments, that means you're going to keep getting paid even if you're not going to work. And if you can get paid without going to work, now you're hitting a level of financial freedom that most people only dream of. And this might sound like it's forever away because, oh my God, Jaspreet, how in the world am I ever going to do that? I only have $100 to invest. Well, $100 is better than $0. And sure, you're not going to get the hugest returns with $100, but it's better than nothing. And you got to get started. Once you can do $100, that means you can do $200. If you can do $200, that means you can do $400. And now it's all about stacking the cash. But not stacking the cash to buy a car. It's not stacking the cash to buy a vacation. It's stacking the cash to buy an asset. Stacking the cash to buy an investment. And now these investments will start stacking the cash that you can spend. Because if you can start stacking your investments and each one of these investments are paying you, well, now you got a lot of cash flow coming in, and if you can live off of the cash flow, now you're financially free. You don't got to worry about the money because you know how to control your expenses. Now I get it, it's not fun to control your expenses, but you have to start there. Once you know how to control your expenses, now it's all the game. You know how to live below your means, you know how to invest your money, and there's tons of videos on my channel where I talk about how to invest. You can invest your money into stocks, you can invest your money into real estate, you can invest your money into your own business, you can invest your money into startups. There's an unlimited number of ways to invest your money, and this is going to depend on how involved you want to be, how much research you want to take, and how much risk you want to take. I have tons of videos where I actually walk through how to do that. But now, it's all about fueling the fire. Because now you want to achieve that wealth sooner rather than later, because you don't want to wait 40 years to achieve this wealth. Now, it's all about how do you amplify how much money do you invest. We'll go back to the formula. Spend less, earn more to invest like crazy. Well, we already talked about how to spend less. This has to be the first thing that you do. The second thing that you have to do is now earn more. If you want to become wealthier quicker, you want to have the financial freedom sooner, now you got to earn more. But the problem is if you start earning more before you know how to spend less, now you're going to earn more and you're going to buy more liabilities. And these liabilities come with bigger payments. These liabilities come with bigger consequences if you can no longer make these payments. That's why you have to start by knowing how to spend less. Once you spend less, now it's so much more powerful to know how to earn more. And this doesn't just come by making more money. That's why you've seen so many millionaire celebrities, so many millionaire athletes who have ended up broke or bankrupt because they made a lot of money but had no idea how to use it. Because when you solely rely on your one stream of income to survive, to live your life, well now if that stream of income goes away, you still have your expenses, but you have no income to pay for these expenses. This is why you have to start with the spending. You have to know how to control your spending, and then you want to earn more money. But then you have to make sure that you're increasing your investments faster than you're increasing your expenses. If you can do that, you're setting yourself up not just for your own wealth, but for your kids' wealth and your kids' kids' wealth, because now you have the tools to build that generational wealth. Let me just make one thing clear, because I'm not advocating for you to live small for the rest of your life. I'm not advocating for you to be a penny pincher for the rest of your life, because the reality is at the end of the day, a penny saved is just a penny. I don't want you to be a penny pincher. I want you to think bigger. I want you to be a growth-minded person, somebody who understands that I can grow the pie instead of just trying to squeeze every single penny that I can out of my own pie. But in order for you to actually be able to grow this wealth pie, you have to understand how to live below your means. So what does that mean? I want you to have the nice stuff. I want you to be able to go on the nice vacations. I want you to have the nice car. I want you to have the big home. I want you to have the luxury that you can afford. but you have to be able to afford it first. How do you afford it? Well, make sure you invest your money in yourself, invest your money in your future before you go and spend this money today. If you can do that, then go ahead, buy whatever nice stuff you want. Be as dumb as you want with your expenses because you can afford it. If you can afford to spend your money, go ahead, do it. But I want you to invest your money first. Make yourself rich before you make everybody else around you rich first. But in order to be able to do that, you gotta know how to live below your means. Pay down the high interest debt. Once you do that, now you can consider stock market, real estate, and everything else investing, because right now, this is way better than the returns that you're gonna get in the market. Number 10, create your own income. We have been seeing a growing divide between the haves and the have-nots ever since the early 1970s. We have been